Well, I'm a big Ohio nigga. A lot of niggas know me in Ohio and they love me in Ohio, man.
BVO, my brother, what's up with you, King? Salute to my brother BVO.
What's up, guys? Coach Julio here. Big shout out to BVO Sports TV.
What's the deal? It's the champ, Shannon Cannon Briggs, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. I want to give a shout out to BVO TV.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?
What?
Peace. Peace, brother. Oh, yo, what's up, Crash? What's up? What's up? What's up? BBO, you on mute. Man, you know, we back with another one. Since y'all can hear us. BBO, he coming through. What's up, Picasso, OG
Oh,
Crush, Tavon?
my bad. I've been up here talking and talking.
Yo, I know you was. Go ahead.
I wasn't even on the screen, but salute to everybody, man. I know y'all didn't hear what I said, but salute to everybody. We got a special guest. One of my favorite guys, one of the up-and-coming coaches, Mr. Julio Sanchez Jr. You know, some of us know him as Crown Jewel. Actually coaching his son, Julio Sanchez III. Got a young Bruce Seldon's son, Bruce Seldon Jr. And it's exciting, man. It's exciting, man. Like I said, boxing is starting to make a resurgence. Only thing I'll say is this. I know everybody's excited about Boots. I'll say this. I think Xander's going to have a tough time winning. But guess what? I want y'all to know that if Boots is to lose this fight, Eddie Hearn will turn on him. We've seen Eddie Hearn just go here and lambaste Richardson Hitchens, talk about him like a dog. I don't even know what that was about. So I'm just letting you guys know, if something happens with Boots, don't be surprised if Eddie Hearn turns his back on him. This is what we've seen Eddie Hearn do from the beginning of time. When these guys lose or don't get a decision, whatever the case may be, he talk bad about him. I remember when he had Devin Haney was the best thing in the world. Then when Devin Haney loses him and becomes undisputed, now Devin's boring. Now nobody cares about Devin. You know, so it's just wild. It's wild the place that we're in when we talk about boxing, because there's no loyalty anymore in the sport. But what you think about it all, Price?
Yeah, you're right. It's really never been a lot of loyalty. Maybe a couple times in certain situations, but for the most part, no. But I agree with you pretty much.
I'm gonna just say this, man.
Eddie Hearn, he's a snake anyway. Like, come on, man. You know that.
I'm gonna tell you guys something that I know people don't want to hear, and I brought it up a little bit last night. But David Benavidez is not the best fighter in the world. Usyk is not the best fighter in the world. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, is Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol beat Zordo. Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo. And Dimitri Bivol beat Beterbiev. You can't name me 3 better opponents that somebody beat recently in recent times better than that. Not David Benavidez, not my guy Joe Obertai. No one has a better resume. No one has a better resume than my guy Dimitri Bivol.
I'm with Tavon. He been in my head.
He been missing.
You got a good. Like I said, your pound for pound list. If you think he's the best fighter in the world, you are 100% entitled to that, brother. You know what I mean?
No. Forget about what I
think.
Those
names you named that's solid right there. Real rap.
We looking for David Benavidez to beat Zordo. Zordo is unified.
Sure.
Canelo was undisputed when he beat him. My man Beterbiev was unified when he beat him. So he beats unified and undisputed champions. I mean, he's just like I said. I always say he's like a Andre Ward, where people don't see what he's done until he's gone. Unfortunately, he got some issues with his back. But this the dude that took the challenge from Canelo and beat him. I mean, he beat Beterbiev. I thought Beterbiev won the fight. I will be honest. But the judges got the final decision because I looked at his face. His face was done. But they gave it to Bivol. And Bivol, to me, is the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter. Not Devin, not Shakur. These guys ain't fought nobody as good as Zerto. No good as Canelo. Good as Beterbiev. We talking about, that's like a Floyd Mayweather type of thing right there. That's a Floyd Mayweather type of
Don't get ahead of yourself now.
When I'm talking about you going after the best in the game, pound for pound guys. Now, you come with me with some fairy tale stuff, but Dimitri Bivol is the best fighter in the world. Not Bam, not anyway. Nobody's touching Dimitri Bivol. Salute to my brother Puerto Rican Free.
Skill for skill, I think that Shakur would beat him.
What the resume say?
No, I'm going off skills. Pound for pound on based off of resume.
Who did he beat? Who did he beat better than Zordo?
Your boy Tio. Tio ain't better than Zordo?
Who did he beat better than Canelo?
Your boy.
I don't think Tio's better than Canelo. Canelo's was former undisputed champion.
You love Tio. You said this, that, and you used to go crazy.
He a two-time Ring Magazine champion, but you know Canelo's a three-time Ring Magazine champion.
All right, and Shakur didn't lose a round against that guy.
But he hasn't beaten anybody better than Canelo or Paterno.
I think he can beat. I think Shakur would. I don't even want to have that argument, but
there's no argument to have. There's no
argument
to have.
If you say so.
The best that Shakur could do is hope to be as great as Bivol. But what you think about everything, Free? You know, a lot of people have been saying David Benavidez is number one. Some people say Ja Obatai. But I say Dimitri Bivol is the best fighter in the world right now. What would you say? I think Free fell asleep. But I just say that because I'll go ahead, Free.
What's going on, fellas? What y'all talking about?
Freezy, what up?
What's going on, brother? We were just talking about a lot of people saying that David Benavidez is number one, the Usyk is number one pound for pound, and I say if you look at resume and recent resume, I think nobody can touch Dimitri Bivol as pound for pound, beating Zordo, Canelo, and Beterbiev, all within recent memory.
Resume. There's an argument for a lot of different people. I don't look at resume and say that's who my number one pound for pound is. Look at because everybody don't fight the same opponent. I look at the skill set and I say if these guys were the same size, do I think this fighter will win? And that's why I do my pound for pound once a year. And I look at everybody that fought that year, and if somebody that pound for pound, whether they lost or they won, I move them accordingly. Sometimes people move up into my top 10 pound for pound because of based off of what they did the previous year. I don't look at resume. I don't look at achievement because everybody don't get the same opportunity to fight the same opponent. Everybody don't get the same opportunity to fight for. I just look at the skill set based off of what pound for pound was based off of. The skill set. If these guys were the same size, who do I believe wins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good, and I can respect where you're coming from. But if we being honest, who beat better people than Dimitri Bivol?
We just missed everything he just said.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we could talk about what we want. If we look at the people who fought, the guys that we looking to fight, I don't think there's nobody that can touch that guy.
I mean, Dimitri Bivol, if you say, okay, who do I think is better than Dimitri Bivol? I would say I got Jerome Bucinita as a better fighter than.
I would say you a nut if you said that. I would say you a nut if you believe that Dimitri Bivol is a better fighter. If these guys would fight, I think Boots would beat them if they was the same size. Yes, Dimitri Bivol is a much bigger fighter. So if they fight right now, yes, Dimitri Bivol probably will win the fighter. Jerome Bucinita is at 154 and Dimitri Bivol is at 175. So we're talking about if these guys were the same size. Yeah, showing us where the cruiserweight, but we got the man of the hour in the house. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling, man?
Crown, what up?
Good. How you doing? My bad. I got out of the gym a little later than I expected tonight. So I'm late, but I apologize.
It's no problem, man. We appreciate you coming through, man. You a Puerto Rican. We knew you was gonna be late.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But let me ask you this, man. You know, you got 30 years in this game, and I want to ask you about a guy because he doesn't speak the best, he doesn't dress the best, he doesn't have a cult following of meat boys. When you look at Dimitri Bivol beating Canelo, Beterbiev, Zordo, all unified champions, one was actually an undisputed champion. Can you tell me there's a better fighter on earth than Demetri Bivol pound for pound.
Yes, I'm a huge Bivol fan. I actually worked Bivol's corner as an inspector when he fought John Pascal some years back. That was my first time getting to see him, and he has great athleticism that we're not used to seeing Eastern Europeans have. And I think he's one of the great light heavyweight champs of the last 30, 40 years. But best pound for pound fighter in the world right now, absolutely not. Unfortunately. And I don't think he's even at his peak anymore. I think he's starting to decline.
Oh, he is, but I'm gonna ask you this. Name me a fighter with 3 better wins in recent memory than that. Those are all-time great wins.
Unfortunately, you can't eat yesterday's meal. So just because you may have had some big wins in the past has nothing to do with your standing on the pound-for-pound list right now.
Right.
So your status right now is based on what you're doing right now and who you are right now. You know what I mean? I used to be able to bench press 225 pounds 25 times. I can't get no props for that right now. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what I could once do. It's what can you do right now? And right now, I think there's quite a few young fighters that are just more talented and better than him right now. I mean, that's just how it goes.
So you telling me a coach who's seen the best, you've seen them all, you've seen everybody come through. So now the work that you put in doesn't count. Now we're saying that's just yesterday.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't get a trophy for yesterday's win. When you accomplish what you accomplished yesterday, you receive your props from that. But today, we all went to school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you got straight A's in 4th grade and then you didn't show up and work in 5th grade, did anybody give a damn about them straight A's you got in 4th grade?
See, I think I like how you do that, because I think the thing that I'm saying is this. One of the things that made Roy Jones so special is his 2 wins. He got 2 of the best wins in the last 50 years. And that's James Toney.
I think you're asking 2 different things.
No, what I'm saying is those are the things that made Roy a legend. Was beating Bernard Hopkins and beating James Toney. And I'm telling you,
but that's not what you asked.
But
you didn't ask me who had a better career. You said pound for pound number 1 right now.
Yeah, you led with pound for pound number 1. Right.
So you're telling me a guy who's actually put the work in and beat Canelo, who's the best fighter in the world to a lot of people, beat him easy, beat Zurdo easy. I mean, he toyed with Zurdo. If you watch that fight, he toyed with him. And we talking about Zurdo, people are excited about Zurdo fighting David Benavidez at cruiserweight. I'm just saying, if you look at just the optics of it, it's showing that it's more of a popularity contest or pickle pool contest than it is about what you do in the ring. Because who has Devin fought in recent memory that even could compare to Canelo?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. If you're with your logic, and you're a football guy, right?
Right.
With your logic, then right now Barry Sanders is a better running back than Saquon Barkley.
No, we're not talking all the time. We're talking about. I like how you.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about right now. You're talking about right now, right? So if we're going by what their body of work, your logic is Bivol is better because of what he's done over the course of his career. If you look at their careers, Barry Sanders had a bigger career than Saquon Barkley. But there isn't an NFL team in the league that will sign Barry Sanders and start him at running back right now. You know why? Because what you did yesterday does not matter in today. Now, we having a conversation in legacy and who had the better career, okay, then you can say that. But if you're talking about who's the best fighter right now, what you've done in the past don't matter. It's who you are right now. What you show up with right now. Not what you had in the past. What you're showing up with to compete right now. And what he has right now, unfortunately to me, is lesser than a lot of the smaller superstars in the game right now.
I get what you're saying. I guess it's just I just don't understand when I seen Shakur. Shakur's biggest win is my guy Teofimo Lopez. Devin's biggest win is Lomachenko, who T.O. beat, who really what hadn't looked the same really since.
Triangle theories don't work.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying if we looking at what these guys have done, I'm saying when I look at Devin, he really hasn't fought anybody as good as a Canelo ever.
You're still saying who had a better win in their career. You're not saying who is the best fighter right in their career. You're saying what Devin did at 135 or 140. You're saying what Shakur did at 140. You're talking about what did was a few years ago. So if you're talking about right now today, Bivol hasn't fought in like 9-10 months.
He's mixing talent and accomplishments. They're two totally different things.
I'll put like this. I guess if I'm looking at his wins, right? This is so I can give it better context. I want to make sure I'm being fair. So he had like a tune-up type of guy and Michael. Then he had 2 fights with Turby. I beat him. Beat Zerto Romero. I mean, what was that? That was in November of 24. He beat Canelo and Zerto back to back.
That has nothing to do with who's the best right now.
Right.
It still doesn't.
Hey, wow. You guys, man.
Carl Lewis ran a hell of 100 meters back in 1984. Is he the fastest man right now?
We're still talking about his career, what he's done in his career. You're not talking about what he's done this year or what he's done in the last. You're talking about,
or even what he can do right now.
I mean, my whole thing is this.
Canelo and Zotto, that was like 3 years ago. When he fought
those was 3 years ago. Yeah. I mean, you brothers are tough. He said, I can't say right now Corey ain't fight in 2 months. Then yeah, I mean, Tavon, you can't let them sway you, because what they're basically saying is when you go out there and fight the best guys, it's not respected unless people want to pickle pulling. That's popularity games.
That's not at all what's being said. You all over the place with you asked me about the best pound for pound fighter right now.
Right.
And then you went to talk about, listen, the things you're arguing are things that are considered when you're considering a guy for the Hall of Fame. That has nothing to do with the best fighter in the world right now. When your career is over and you want to be, they're looking at you as a possible, maybe a state or a city Hall of Fame or even an international boxing Hall of Fame, then they're going to look at your body of work as in totality. But that has nothing to do with the pound for pound best fighter in the world right now. Because you can have a pound for pound number one fighter in the world that never makes it into the Hall of Fame. But just for a short period of time, he was the best fighter in the world. But his body of work is not Hall of Fame, worthy. That's why those are two totally different arguments. Like, I think Riddick Bowe is a top 10 heavyweight of all time. Because at his peak, I think he can give anybody trouble, if not beat him. But I can't say he had an all-time great career because his peak was so short. Same thing with Tyson. Tyson at his peak could probably beat just about anybody on any given night, but his peak was only for 3 years. So you don't, you know what I mean? But so when you look at longevity with a guy like Ali, or dare I say, when you come back and say a guy like Foreman who had 2 careers, it doesn't measure up. But when you talk about their absolute peak, which is what a pound for pound fighter in the world right now is, are you better than everybody in the game right now? Whether they had great accomplishments in the past or whether they're going to do great things in the future, we're talking about right now. Who has the best skill set, the best ability right now, it's not Dimitri Bivol. And like I said, I'm a huge Bivol fan. When I met him, I told him, you got big shoes to fill, because I came up with Virgil Hill, who had more WBA light heavyweight defenses than anybody, and Bivol's first belt was the WBA. So, and I love the fact that, again, he's an Eastern European with a great jab, and he's athletic. That's something you don't see. That still doesn't take away from the fact that he's not the best fighter in the world right now.
So let me ask you this. You being around some of the best fighters, man, what would you say right now? What would you give Xander Zayas? Because we're seeing an influx and excitement around Puerto Rican boxing. We got Shakur Sanchez, who come out as Puerto Rican.
You gonna give me my last name?
Hey, we know your last. Yeah, we use your last. We call him Shakur Sanchez sometimes. But I'll ask you this: being Puerto Rican of Puerto Rican heritage, man, how good does it feel to have a guy like Xander Zayas be unified champion?
My bad, I got a phone call. Can you repeat that?
No, I was saying, being of Puerto Rican heritage, man, how does it feel to have a guy like Xander Zayas be a unified champion right now?
I'm not that guy. It's not Crips and Bloods for me. So I'm not a guy like, I'm great. I feel great because Puerto Rico has a champion. I feel great because America has a champion. I like boxers. So it doesn't make me feel any different about Zayas, whether he's Puerto Rican or not. I think he's a good young champion. But I think his people are making a huge mistake putting him in there with boots right now. I don't think he's ready. And I think he was on his way to becoming the next Puerto Rican star. But I think they're going to severely hinder that by getting his head beat in against Boots next month. But that's just my opinion.
To my brother, Coach Bernard. What you think about him changing his hair, man? I like the Bobby Burrino haircut. What you think? What made him do that? You think, man? Because I thought the way he looked this time, and it, to me, I just thought it was an overall kind of a bad look. How they both came. What happened to guys wearing suits to press conferences like that? What do you think?
Not that time no more.
You got to also think about too, Livio, when it comes to the Puerto Rican hurt. That's what they do in Puerto Rico. They dye their hair blonde and things like that. They have a different style than the traditional American style. So just because he's out his head doesn't take away from what he is. That's just his style.
I'm just more or less saying, for this dude to have a 50s hairstyle at 23 years old, somebody put him up to him. Am I wrong to say that, Coach? What would you say?
You wrong. Why do you care about his hair so much?
You missing what I'm saying. I'm talking about to market him.
Nah, I honestly used to give him a fit about it, but I thought it was a hell of a look. It separated him apart from what you would normally see. And yeah, I did. I just used to give him grief about it. I think I was the only one giving him grief about it for a while. But then I guess, hey, he signed with Bad Bunny. Now he looked like Babs Bunny. Yes, I don't know. Maybe it's the metamorphosis of a young fighter. But the only thing that I get upset about it is not even from him or his team. It's actually from the boxing public, because if a black fighter did half of the stuff that Latin fighters, European fighters, if we did that, we would get crucified. We couldn't get a black fighter to grow up fighting for Team USA, and then all of a sudden becomes the pride of Zimbabwe when he turned pro. But they allowed him to do it all the time. That's just the thing. And I don't blame fighters. If Xander could box for Team USA his whole amateur career, try to make the US Olympic team, for the United States, but then say, fuck it, I turn pro, I'm the pride of Puerto Rico, then by all means, let him do it. I would encourage him to. But media doesn't allow black fighters to do it. But then you want to hold black fighters to a standard that you don't hold across the board. I'm not mad at a black fighter not wearing a suit to a press conference. If you want us to be the villain and that's the role that we have to live up to, then I'm cool being the villain the whole way. Adrian Bronner, Floyd Mayweather, whatever you, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, whatever you want us to be the villain in, because that's the role that we've kind of been forced into, then be the whole villain. Don't ask me to wear a suit. Don't ask me to
I'm wearing my watches and chains, Coach.
Yeah, I'm coming and I'm gonna give you what you expect but scared to say. I tell people all the time. When you look at society, that's what it is. You got Donald Trump, he's been the president 2 times. Donald Trump is the president twice because Donald Trump says and does what the average person feels but are afraid to do and say.
What you think about that, Coach Crown? What you think about that, man?
I want to touch on both of the things you just said. First of all, with the hair.
Right.
I don't think there was ever a time where, right? I don't think there's ever been a time when people my age really agreed with what 23-year-olds were doing with their hair. So I'm too far out of touch to be speaking on what a young man's doing with his hair at this point. That don't mean nothing to me. Number 2, as somebody that's been watching boxing very closely pretty much all my life, I don't remember many times that any fighter was wearing suits to a press conference. I mean, that may have been isolated incidents, but I can bring up videos of Mike Tyson at press conferences and T-shirts, and Marvin Hagler at press conferences and sweatsuits. So I think we just find new things to complain about when it comes to fighters. But and with that being said, the audience for boxing has changed. I can remember a time in the 80s going to see fights in the casino in Atlantic City where everybody was dressed to the nines going to a fight where it was like an event. The crowd comes into the fight in t-shirt and sneaks now. So why should the fighters dress any different? You know what I mean? Just society as a whole is just a lot more relaxed than it once was. And I think we need to really stop caring about all this stuff, as far as how guys look, what they do with their hair, what they're wearing. All I give a damn about is what they do when that bell rings.
The reason I say that is because I went to see Xander Zayas when he became champion. And it was the craziest scene I'd ever seen. Emiliano Vargas came in a suit, it's almost like he's emulating Oscar De La Hoya. When you see him, like even when you talk to him, he's talking like Oscar, like a young Oscar. Like maybe Fernando put the Oscar tapes on and said, "This is how I want you to be."
Well, they did the same thing to Fernando when he was young. He was supposed to be the next Oscar.
Yeah, I'm more or less saying. The reason I'm saying it like that, Coach, is because I just like. For me, maybe because I had older parents, but that's what we want to see our kids look like. We want to see them look like what they're there to do and to do business. I grew up with the Michael Jordan. Remember, Michael would make you wait 35, 40 minutes till you got that hoop earring in and got a suit on. I'm not saying that's something they have to do. I'm just saying it's a great touch.
But things change. Things change.
No
My
dress
thing
code.
is dress for the occasion, right? When I came up, my father made sure if I was going to church, a wedding, or a funeral, I had on a suit.
Right.
I went to church one day last summer just out of the blue, and I realized I was the only one in there with a suit on. Things change. Things change. And here's the thing. I don't want to be one of those older people always hating on what young people are doing. It's not our turn anymore. It's their turn. You know what I mean? And to me, I think this generation of fighters, especially the superstars, they get to determine what's appropriate and what's not appropriate for them to wear. Not us. It's not our time.
Right. And I don't want to talk about their hair and their clothes anyway. Who gives a damn
I want
about
to tell
it?
a funny story real quick about the hair, though. Just tell you how bizarre fighters are, right?
Right.
A fighter that I worked with for just one fight, and I more than likely never work with him again, but I went and picked him up. A promoter asked me to help a guy, and he said if I'd help him, he'd put him on the card. If I wouldn't help him, he wouldn't put him on the card. So I helped him. So I had to go pick this guy up, take him back and forth, do what he had to do, fight physicals, whatever, get trunk, shoes, whatever to fight on fight week. And to my surprise, when I picked him up, this is a black male, you know what I mean, brown-skinned black male. And when I got to his house, he had his hair bleached blonde. And, I'd seen him before, never seen that before. So I just asked him, I said, so what's with the hair color change? And this fool actually told me, yeah, I was doing some research, man. And, they say you're your strongest when your hair is this color. I was through. He dyed his hair blonde because he thought it was going to make him stronger for the fight.
So that being said, you got Xander. And what do you think about Shakur, man, coming up, being a new Puerto Rican star?
Shakur, like myself, is African. He's African American and Puerto Rican. Like myself. But again, I don't really care about a guy's race. If he can fight, he can fight.
Yeah, I do want to say this, man. I know he's been dispersed and all, but rest in peace to African Bambaataa, man. One of the guys.
Once the stuff that came out about him came out, you playing around with little boys and stuff, man. I can't. I'm not gonna say nothing negative about him, but I can't speak on you no more. Like you don't deserve to be celebrated. You was out here doing what you was doing to little boys.
Doing the most.
BVO celebrated everybody.
Nah, I'm just saying rest in peace to the man.
And BVO is going to say shout out to Pepe Le Pew. They can bring back in there. He can't help himself. He has to do these things. It's the weirdest shit in the world, but he has to.
We gotta be better than that, though, Coach. You know what I mean? Some of us gotta have some sense.
I ask you this though. What keeps you going, man? You've been coaching, like I said, you've been in the the game almost 30 years. You fought for a living, and now
Actually, I started boxing when I was 7, so I've been in the game 40 years. And like I said, I was kind of born into it because my father was a trainer, my grandfather was a manager. So it's always
shout out
been
to
a part
your
of my
son
life.
too. Shout out to your son.
And what is it
Thank
like
you,
seeing
man.
your
He's been
son
trying.
fighting, man? You know,
Doing good, coach.
I see. He's totally different. He's not like you. He's not there to box. He's there to make some money. He's there to bang. He's there to bang, and I love it. I love it. He's not like Crown. You know, Crown want to look good. He want to have his waves a certain way. I like his son. His son going there for blood. I like it.
Hey, listen. I know you I know you playing me a certain way, but don't let the light skin fool you. I ain't never been I ain't never been too pretty to get gritty. Cut it out.
Hey, I don't know if you a dog like your boy. Your boy has showed me to be a dog. And when you see him fighting, and you know he got into the game late, what is the thing? Because it's kind of hard to tell because you know where the level he's fighting at, and I know you know because you fought on the big level. I'm just wondering.
No, I didn't fight on the big level. I was around guys that fought on the big level, but I didn't fight on the big level.
Well, what I'm saying when you got you got Vernon and all those guys you see him fight on the big level. Do you think you can see your son make it to that big level?
I'm realistic. I'll say this, and I actually said this in an interview at this last fight. I don't put expectations on him, really, because who knows? But he's only been boxing for I think 15 months. He had one amateur fight. He's now 4-1 with 3 knockouts as a pro. And if I just sit back and objectively look at who he was March 22nd last year when he turned pro, and who he was 3 weeks ago, the jump is crazy. So I don't know what his end game is because again he started boxing at 22 years old. But I'm not going to put a ceiling on it because the jump he's made in that year, I can't believe it. But who knows? You know what I mean? I do know that he, as of right now, he does all the work required of him. He's very teachable. And I really don't think he has a ceiling right now. But, again, who knows? I don't know how I haven't seen him, in adversity the way he's going to face when he steps up yet. So to be honest, even though I'm his dad, we have to cross those bridges. He hadn't had those tense moments in the amateurs because he don't have no big amateur background. So everything he's learning on the job. Now physically, he seems to be getting it. He's looking pretty good. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, my son's going to be a world champ. I'd be foolish to say that. You know what I mean? Or I'd just be somebody who's talking out his side of his neck. But do I think, he can make some noise? Yes, but how far? That remains to be seen. You know what I mean? We're considering stepping him up considerably in this fight for what he is. And like I said, I have to be careful with that because he's not very experienced. He's been in the ring 5 times in his life. But so far, he far exceeds his level of experience. His results have far exceeded his level of experience, and I hope that continues. But at some point, I'm going to be able to grade where he's going to be at. I'm just not there yet.
That's what's up, Coach. You a dog in the corner, too.
Let me ask you this, though, Coach, because what I'm seeing is a fighter that comes forward. And I necessarily didn't think that you were coaching that way. Is that just naturally him? Because I see him, he's on that front.
He does both. He boxes behind his jab when need be. But I'll say this, and this is all honesty. We're alike in some ways, but we're very different in some ways. The knock on me, looking back on my career, I can say, a blatant knock on me, I can see, I was too nice of a guy. Like, I liked everybody, I cared about my opponents. Like, I wanted everybody to do what. My son's not that type of person. He's a very, and outside of boxing, this is not a benefit to him, but in boxing, it benefits him. My son is more of a mean person than me. He doesn't really like people. You know what I mean? We're just different in that way, so I think that benefits him. He's a pretty mean person.
Hey, Coach Bernard, what you think about my man, Coach Sanchez saying that his son's a mean person? That's crazy, ain't it?
Hey, man, if you gonna be in this game, you gotta be that type of person. I haven't seen too many great nice guys in this game. I've seen a lot of very mean, nasty, sadistic guys do well in this game. but I haven't seen too many nice guys finish first in this game. So if that's the route that his son is taking, I hope that continues to be the way he is. If I get a late start, I want you to be extra mean.
Yeah,
because I'm already starting late.
I'm just saying because he's similar to you, Coach, in the fact of like, you know, Coach Sanchez is being modest. They wrote about the man as if everybody seemed disappointed that he didn't have a career that they thought he should have had because of his talent. He won't say that because he's modest now, but I just think it's amazing to see, like, you know, for his son to be so inexperienced. When you see some of the movement, it's like you could tell maybe he was watching. You know what I mean? The way
he been in the gym with me when I was fighting. He was in the gym with me as a baby. I'll say that. But I wouldn't allow him to do it. You know what I mean? Right. I just didn't want him to box. Yeah. But I think part of you talk about his footwork. I think that's an asset of his, and part of that's because he's a former basketball player and a running back. So he brought that athleticism with him in the boxing. I think that has a lot to do with his footwork. And since birth, he's been ambidextrous. He writes with either hand. As a baby, he would eat with either hand. So some of those things are just, that's just who he is. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think, basketball and football played a part in his athleticism.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying this, man. Cut that dog loose, man. Don't let him box, man. Cut him loose, man. That's what I always tell Coach B, man. We don't get too many dogs like that. I like when we get the young dogs, man. Do it like they got this kid. I love him, Ben Whitaker. Coach Bernard says I'm wrong about this kid, but I like those people who just let the dog.
You just like the way he be showing off, BBO.
Yeah, did you like the way he acted when he got hit back?
Yeah, he jumped out the ring, Crown. Jumped out the ring.
Man, he is horrible, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I trained my son to box behind his jab. I think he has a very good jab. I teach him to box behind his jab, and we're not looking to take a whole lot of punishment. But his makeup, whether I like it or not, is once he get hit, it's a fight. That's just who he is.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. That being said, man, out of all the years of fighting, man, what would you think? Would you ever think like you would like?
Coach, mute your mic. Coach,
I got it. No, it's all right, Coach. We got it. I got it.
No, my bad. I apologize. It's my grandson.
Oh, we all good. But let me ask you this though, Coach. Did you ever think you would have 4 generations in the sport of boxing, man?
No,
that's amazing when you think about that.
Because I told myself there's no way in the world I would allow my son to box. So no, I did not.
So I gotta ask you about some of these fights that just passed, man. We seen Deontay Wilder in a wrestling match versus Ward Zasor. What did you think about that? I thought it was horrible the way I thought Deontay looked horrible. I thought Zasor looked horrible. How did you think about that fight?
I'll never frown upon fighters making a whole lot of money in evenly contested fights. So he was fighting against it was an old man past his prime, fighting against another old man past his prime, and they're making a great deal of money. So I won't frown upon that, but I will say, keep that man away from the prime heavyweights of the day. His day has passed, and if he gets in there with Wardley or who's the young boy that just knocked out Jermaine Franklin? Moses, Atama. Them guys will seriously hurt Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder's an overachiever. I think he got by on big power and limited ability. I think it's amazing to think that a guy like him was able to ascend to the top of the division and hold a title for so long while holding on to amateurish habits throughout that time. So I think he's a phenom in that he was able to I think he got everything he can get out of his talent. But I think it's time to walk away now. Hopefully, he's made good decisions with his money. And I like to see him walk away while he still got his wits about him.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say got his wits about him, do you think even though he hasn't really received a ton of damage? Because to me, if I look at Deontay Wilder, all the knockouts he has, and the only real fight I ever really seen him damage then was that Tyson Fury trilogy. I mean, he just
one bad fight could be
Well, that
enough.
China man hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, Zilli Zhang.
Yeah.
Zilli
And he
Zhang
got
hurt
knocked out in the amateurs too. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing: a lot of times the damage you take today won't show up until tomorrow. So, I grew up in a gym under a guy named Matthew Saad Muhammad, legendary light heavyweight champ. You know, his later years weren't peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's another guy, Lucius Brown, who got a brain bleed in my gym in the amateurs. Like, great guy on a national level, but when you see what these guys' quality of life is like when they stick around too long, I mean, it's ugly, man. It's bad. And you know, Deontay Wilder again doesn't have the best to me. And with all due respect, you know, I mean, he's heavyweight champ of the world, something I never dreamed of accomplishing. But he has some shortfalls in his skill set. He's not the hardest guy in the world to hit. And he still punches very hard, but his reflexes have diminished quite a bit. His speed has diminished quite a bit, which is all going to lend itself to him being hit more. So if he's been taking that punishment at his height, what do you think is going to happen to him now that he's slowed down some? And you know, you can't take it easy on him because he does have that eraser. You know what I mean? I think, you know, there's a reason why boxing's a young man's sport.
Yeah, I think the eraser is with Mark Breland, because we haven't seen him knock anybody out in years. I mean, you count the Robert Helenius fight, but I think really when he left Mark Breland, I think that really hurt him. I don't know. When I look at Wilder,
I love Mark Breland, but when a fighter's skills start to erode, you can raise Eddie Futch from the dead. It ain't gonna help. Like and like I said, Eddie Futch, I think, is the best trainer in the history of boxing. Best trainer I've been around, hands down.
Yeah. I mean,
when your skills start to erode, I don't give a shit who's training you. It ain't gonna work, bro. Like, time is undefeated.
Let me ask you this, Coach Bernard. Now, when we listening to my man, Coach Sanchez talk about this, is there any way to like rejuvenate an older fighter, or that's just like something that we dream about doing? That's not possible.
I mean, I don't think you can rejuvenate an older fighter, but I also think that you kind of, when a man has ascended to the top of the mountain like Deontay Wilder has done, he deserves to do whatever he want to do in the sport with no criticism. And the reason I say with no criticism is because we got 10 million guys who got 0-900 records, and we ain't giving them that type of thought, and they should have been stopped fighting. So, you know, if a fighter like Deontay Wilder want to still do it, and we got guys who are horrible, we got guys that will never be good. We got guys who were great legendary fighters who they sons are some cold-blooded trash. and we give all these opportunities, all these kudos, all these different things to them who shouldn't be in the sport. And if the sport was like the NBA, the NFL, or Major League Baseball, they would never be drafted. Then we can't say nothing about Deontay.
Can I respond to that?
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to be clear on my point. I agree with what you're saying, and he has earned that. But I think because he's been so great, and because he's done so much for the sport, and because more times than not, fighters have more heart than is good for them, I think we should at times look at guys and say, I don't want to see his life end like Dwight Muhammad Qawi or Matthew Saad Muhammad or Muhammad Ali. I think he deserves to go off into the sunset and enjoy the fruits of his labor. And a lot of times when fighters fight too long, that's just not their reality. So I'm saying I want to see him go for his own benefit, for health reasons, because in my opinion, no matter how good of an athlete you are, your lifespan as a professional athlete is a short time in comparison to you living a healthy, long life. And, you know what I mean? At some point, you're going to have to hang them up. And I'd rather you hang them up while you still got your health and strength, to me.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
and I respect that 100%. But my thing is this: if we are all true ethical fans of the sport, then we should feel that way about a dude that's 2-29. We should feel that way about a guy that's 1-55, been knocked out 19 times.
See, I'm from New
I'm
Jersey.
saying that because I really see them dudes, and I think about what Lyle Zato said on an interview before he died. Lyle Zato said, if steroids got me to have the life that I never would have had without them, and it ends early, then I'm happy with that.
I feel you.
And so for me, I can't tell a great one when it's time to walk away, when I'm not telling all of these, especially in boxing, super elite ducks that they shouldn't even be in the sport. Because
in Jersey, we do that. We have a tough commission in Jersey. You lose 6 fights in a row, you don't got no license.
Yeah, but that's in Jersey. But I will also say this: he goes somewhere else and win 3 fights in a row. Jersey give him that license back.
That's true. If he wins.
Yeah,
and I will say, I've seen several fighters in Jersey's lights taken permanently when they start to show slippage. And I think it should happen more because my stablemate died in a boxing ring, so I look at it totally different. You know what I mean? My stablemate was Levander Johnson, IBF lightweight champion of the world. He died defending his title.
I remember Levander Johnson.
Yeah, so you know what I mean?
When I say this, I think of it like this. You got everybody doing all different types of things for life and for pleasure, for jobs, for whatever. Even if you look at the Constitution, you have the right to pursue happiness. If I'm not bothering you, I'm not hurting anything you're doing, I just don't see where we got the right to tell somebody how to pursue happiness because it makes you happy. If it makes you happy not to see me fight, don't look at me fight. But I have the right to do that, especially if I've been at the highest of heights. But we don't have any, because my thing is this. I'll say my thing is, if that's the case, and we know what these damages could be, why do we match up prospects against cold-blooded ducks? If that's how we feel, then why do we match prospects against cold-blooded ducks? Why do we match guys that we call moving? I'm moving this guy. I look at dudes' records, and I'd be like, how you got 6 guys in your first 10 fights? All of them have 8, 9, 10 under 500 losses. But you say, my guy is this great. My guy is this good. So why you wasn't worried about him killing him?
I can't speak for everybody. I don't know. But I would say
I'm not speaking for you, coach. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying this. If you're moving a fighter, if you're moving a young fighter that has limited experience, but he's young, are you gonna put him in there first with a 3-0, or are you gonna put him in there with the 1-4?
The 1-4, absolutely.
Because I have a better chance of beating him, and I have less worry about getting hurt.
Yeah, and but so my lesser experienced guy is not going to put that 1-4 guy in the same type of peril that the world class fighters that these older champions are going to be fighting.
But listen to what we said. We said that over time these injuries happen.
Yeah.
So if this guy he been knocked out 4 times, that might, like you just said, that might be the one. But because we're moving this guy, we're gonna put him in there with ducks. Yeah. I tell BVO, me and him argue about all the time. Why you be shining light on ducks when they haven't done nothing? And you comparing a dude that's 10-0, but his whole record is fighting dudes below 500 to a fighter who's fighting dudes above 500.
Well, I mean,
it depends on what side of the bed you on when you look at it. You on the side of the bed with the champion? Even if he old, you getting paid? Cool. I've never seen a corner man be with a champion when he young, and then the champion comes back and won a fight. I've never seen I personally, and it may have happened. I've never seen a corner man who know that his percentage is 500,000 say, "Nah, champ, we done."
Well, I've never personally trained a champion, right? But my most successful fighter was a top 10 rated welterweight, right? He still wants to fight right now, but he's not because I said no. And I would hands down get the most money out of any of the guys I work with if I sat down and you know, gave my blessing for him to fight. But I know, you know, his skills are eroding. He's not who he once was. And me personally, I can't be a part of him getting in there knowing he's a shell of himself. He's my most successful fighter. He earned a lot of respect, but because I love him, I can't look his parents in the face and say, yeah, he can go make a decent amount of money, so we're going to take this fight. I can't do it. That's just me.
I got you, coach, and I respect that 100%. Yeah. You know, I'm always on the guy's side who's done. He did the heavy lifting, and he deserved to go out how he wanted to go out. That's just and if I'm in the corner, I'll stop it before he dies. But I feel like that too. Now
it's not an absolute science.
Yeah,
because I worked the corner with. I don't know if you heard of John Brown, but he never won a title, but he fought some of everybody. Shane Mosley, Diego Corrales. He fought everybody. Miguel Cotto. I worked with him late in his career. And it was a situation where he was going to fight whether I gave him my blessing or not. I decided to show up for that very reason. So if it got bad, I could stop it and protect him. But, you know, I think the problem is this. A lot of our fighters don't have another way of feeding themselves. So, you know, they think I can get one more fight, one more big payday. But I think at some point, like I said, I just think we as the guys around them have to rescue them from themselves sometime. And like I said, I'm saying that because I've seen guys walk around on their heels, can't put a sentence together, who once had $1 million homes. And that's just terrible to me.
You know, it's funny you said it. We just had
Can I get in here for a second?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you out there 1 second. So we had 3-time middleweight champion Uncle Reggie Johnson on here. He told me, he said, you know what, man? He said, man, I had took that last fight, and I said, that's it. Like, he made the decision at home by himself, and he had some money on the line, and he said he made that decision because he just didn't think it was worth it anymore. I don't think most fighters can. Go ahead.
Some people are strong enough, some are not. And what nobody talks about, I got a friend of mine that was a multi-time world champion, right? Mm-hmm. One of the oldest men to win a world title. Ran out of money, had a fractured vertebrae in his neck, a dirty CAT scan, and his wife is pushing him to go back out and get one more fight because the last few years of his career, he was able to go overseas and make 6, 7, 100,000, 1.2 million. So in her mind, you know, you can end our financial problems right now by just going to go fight one more time. And a lot of times, men end up taking fights because the people around them are saying, listen, you can rescue us all, just go fight. Me personally, I told him, listen, bro, you can go back over there and fight one of them Europeans and make a bunch of money and let them come up off your name. But you're going to be here spending your money. You're going to be over there at the cemetery. Make up your mind.
Damn.
But that's just the reality, man.
Salute to both of the coaches. I appreciate what y'all do. I've been sitting here just soaking up so much game from both of y'all, right? I have so many questions, but it's kind of like when teachers is talking and professors is talking, just sit back and listen and soak up the game while you getting it for free, right? So I appreciate everything that you guys do, the dedication that you guys have to your fighters in the sports and how you guys actually care about your fighters, because the sentiment that you just laid out, Coach, was you're looking out for the fighter and his well-being. You know, other people would be like, wow. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. You just went on. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a phone call. So, another person to be like, well, hey, I'm just here for a paycheck and they don't care about your well-beings. We seen some coaches set up their fighters, you know what I'm saying? And with you two coaches, you guys show integrity. You guys show love for the sport. So, I like I said, I had so many questions, but so many questions was answered already. And I'm just going to sit back and just soak up the game because I'm a student of the game. And when the professors are speaking, I just sit back and listen. So I appreciate the enlightenment that you guys are laying on us tonight. So I just appreciate that. So I'm gonna just go back on mute and just soak up the game.
I appreciate you, brother, and I'm still a student as well.
You know the thing that's so funny, and I gotta give Coach B this because he helped me understand something that was funny. And at times I do give credit too much, but for me, I always feel like when you get into a combat sport and you're willing to get hit, whether it's football or whether it's boxing, I gotta give you credit, man. Because I remember we went to Amanda Serrano's gym, and I don't know if those guys were any good, but I seen Amanda Serrano punishing people.
Yeah,
and I mean, she had no breaks. She was just in there like pummeling people, and I'm just wondering in boxing. It's good to hear that, Coach say this all the time. It's good to hear somebody say, hey, you can't say crazy stuff like, I want to die in the ring. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder said that. Coach said
you can say it, but I'm not going to let you. You know what I mean? I can't do it.
I don't know where that comes from, man. What you got for me, Dub or Free or Pride? What y'all got for me?
Go ahead, Dub. Dub was quiet.
My bad. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, good, Dub. You've been quiet.
Hey, shout out to everybody on the panel, man. It's interesting how we're talking about it. I want to ask, because we're talking about Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying? If he goes back in there, and I know I hear how Coach is saying, hey, you let a man go out on his shield, you know what I'm saying? Just came off a victory in a wrestling match, respectfully. Would you want to see him in the ring? I wouldn't want to see him fight Moses. Definitely not that fight. I could see him fighting AJ. I got him losing against AJ. And I love Deontay. I love that.
Him and AJ is whoever hit who first.
Hey, and I think AJ got a glass chin as well around there.
He do. That's why I said whoever hit who first.
And Eddie Hearn said it. So let me ask the question. Eddie Hearn said this. He was like, man, we look at Deontay Wilder. Well, he didn't say it exactly this way, but he was like, man, before AJ fight Tyson, man, we need a tune-up fight. We'll fight Deontay Wilder. Do you think that's a tune-up fight for AJ?
No. I think Eddie Hearn is talking like a promoter and talking his fighter up. But ain't too many guys a tune-up for AJ at this point. Everybody he get in there with is a threat the way his beard been looking.
I agree. And my whole thing is, I say this respectfully, and I pick AJ to beat Deontay Wilder if they end up fighting. But at the same time, I don't want to see Deontay Wilder take no more punishment in the ring. I know BVO said he didn't think he done took that much punishment. You don't spin around in the ring, start talking to the ref, and not be taking punishment. I'm just telling you. I don't know what's going on.
He has a dent in the side of his head that he's shown in the shape of an egg weight. You've seen blood coming out his ear. Like you've seen. Sometimes it ain't the amount of times. Sometimes it's the severity. And a lot of times you don't see heavyweights get those brain injuries because they get knocked out earlier. But the difference with Deontay is his bad looks, he took sustained beatings over the course of a lot of rounds. Those are the kind of fights that damage you forever.
Amazing. And second question, real quick. Coach, I don't know if you did. I just pulled up. I'm late. I apologize. Man, what you got on Virgil versus Boots, man? Have you talked about that yet?
I did. I think it's too early. And I know some people will say, well, Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fought when they were 21 and 22 years old. Things are different. Back then, in the amateurs, you was an open fighter fighting against grown men nationally and internationally at 16 years old. That doesn't happen anymore. So these American fighters aren't maturing as quick as they once did because they're not being allowed to compete at such a high level as early as they once did. So the whole game is different. They're putting him in there, to me, with just a young phenom. Like, you know, I mean, I think the world of Jaron Ennis. I've watched him since he was an amateur. I think it's just too soon. I think Xander is going to get stopped within 6 rounds. I just do.
Man, you say 6?
Yeah. Can I interject for just 1 second, please?
Oh, go ahead.
Dub, what you just said was very diabolical, especially speaking on a brother Deontay Wilder like that. Like, I don't understand where you get this narrative from, talking about he spent around and talked to the referee. He got hit. That's what happens when a person with power hits you. So for you to
when he got hit, did he not spin around? Hold on.
I didn't stop you. I did not
Did he
stop
not
you.
do
I
that?
did not
Did he
stop
not
you.
do that?
I did not stop you, brother. But brother, I didn't stop you, brother. I didn't say one word. I let you hate, so let me go and get this out, brother. The hating is very diabolical for you to talk about our American black champion like that. We don't really have too many American heavyweights black champions left, and somebody that stand for our people the way he stand for it. For the disrespect you just caused, that's 50 lashes that you very much deserve. That
How is it truth hating? How is it truth hating,
bro? That's
how am I
crazy
hating by
that you
telling the
said
truth?
That. And I love you, Dub. You my brother. And
But how am I hating by telling the truth?
You got Devin Haney on here running from Rolly. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
I didn't say that. I never said that. I never said that. I never said anything about Devin running. But my thing is, how is the truth hating?
That's on the screen. That's on the screen. But you picking AJ over Deontay? Okay, like he just didn't get knocked out. Like you didn't just see him get knocked out. But this show ain't about that. I'm gonna let the coaches cook and get back and get some of this good game that they got cooking right now. But I had to say something because you was hating, brother. I'm sorry. And I love you, dude.
How is the truth hating? That man got hit. He got hit on the chin. He spun against Zilly Zane. He got hit on the chin. The man spun around, started talking to the ref, and got hit again.
Bro, we seen it. We
so
seen
how am I
seen
hating?
That man knock dudes unconscious.
How is the truth hating?
But why did you have to bring? You're right, but okay. So there's a time and place for everything, and I just don't believe that was the time for it. But okay, cool. I get it. I understand what corner you coming from now. So I got to get in the opposite one. You still my brother, but when you speak on my brothers, on my brothers, I'm gonna speak up. I cannot sit here and let you talk about my brother like that.
Because I'm telling the truth. The truth is not hate, bro.
Okay, brother, you right, Dub, and you my brother, but I cannot let you slander the brother like that. I apologize.
I'm not slandering them by telling the truth.
Brother,
slander is lying on somebody's name. That's literally what slander is. Lying on
but why you didn't bring up his accomplishments? You brought up his downfall, but not his accomplishments. Why?
Man, he one of the greatest heavyweights of his era. I have no problem with that.
Speak about how he knocked. How he knocked dudes unconscious. Let's talk about that.
Same fighter that he used to be, bro. He's not.
All right, brother. I get it, brother. That man stand up for our people, bro. I'm sorry. He the last one of us that we got left like that, bro. He a throwback brother, and I respect him because he stand for us, the culture, the black man, the melanin man, even the light skinned man like my brother Dub. But I'm gonna listen to the game that my brothers got going on.
This is a sick Negro.
All I'm saying at the end of the day, bro, it's no hate on Deontay, bro. I love Deontay. I done met the brother. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is he's telling what the facts were. It's no hate about that.
Hey Dub, I think I'm not disagreeing with you, Dub, but I think what the young brother was saying, to a degree I understand him, because it's not. I don't think it be what we say, because Deontay can't go against what you saw in the ring. I think it's the way you say it, or not you individually, but the way people say it. Because the way people say stuff, I say this: Mike Tyson got put on his face by Buster Douglas. But listen, would you tell Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas beat shit down your leg? Respectfully, you wouldn't say it like that. You wouldn't say it like that.
I would tell Mike Tyson, you got your ass knocked out cold against Buster Douglas.
I don't think. I just don't.
I see you going home that night.
I just don't think. I think people don't understand. I think people don't understand that it's only disrespectful if when you're in the presence of these guys, you don't say it in the same exact way. That's the only thing I think. I think if anybody, a podcaster, sports anchor, whoever it is, if they say X, Y, and Z about a fighter or athlete, it's cool if you'll say it to his face. Not on a monitor, but to his face. Because 99% of people, they know it's disrespectful because they wouldn't say it to their face.
I would say,
Hey, Bernard, I want to add to that real quick, Bernard, if I can.
I would say that.
Hey, Bernard, I want to add to that a little bit. Like, I agree with you, but even on top of that, I don't like guys that never step through the ropes calling fighters bums and like saying disrespect. If you can't do it,
preach,
you can't call that man a bum. See, like, I grew up in a different time as you did, Coach. Well, I remember back in the day, tough guys who thought they were tough on the streets would come in the gym on Fridays and the old heads would put their ass in there. And I've seen guys with 4 and 7 professional records beat the shit out of these so-called tough guys who's calling them bums. Because back in the day in our gym, when you walked in selling wolf tickets and saying who's a bum and who can't fight, old head Mike Hall will put your ass in there. And so that's what you think he is? All right, well, you get in there and show me what you can do with him. And
that's what I hear too much, Coach.
Man was a bum. Nobody said.
Hey, Coach, I respect
I'm
that.
just speaking of disrespect.
No. And that's what I'm talking. I agree, Coach. You preaching because anybody that went to me, my thing is this: when you give an opinion on something that you never did, it's an uneducated opinion.
Absolutely.
And if you give an uneducated opinion, and it has any condensation of disrespect to it, then it is. There's no way you can say it's not disrespectful. If you saying, man, this dude got shit beat down his leg, and you go to the, let's say this, you live in the same neighborhood that Mike Tyson grew up in, that he lived in, or that he frequented, and you said, man, Mike got shit beat down his leg, and Mike walk in the barbershop and you got your back to the window. When you turn around, be honest. Your first thing is, I hope he don't slap shit out.
Absolutely.
So you know it was disrespectful because the first thing you said was, I hope to yourself is, I hope he don't slap the shit out of me. And then the next thing you say, respectfully. You can't say respectfully and then say something crazy because you know it's disrespectful.
Coach, I got a situation.
So saying that, hold on, real quick, is disrespectful telling the truth?
No, it's not disrespectful. Listen, it's not disrespectful to tell the truth. It's disrespectful to tell the truth if knowing in the situation where that person is there, you will not say it. I've been in the presence of James Toney on multiple occasions, and I've seen how he bitched grown men, how he bitched them. I'm glad I ran it. You the one that said such and such. Say it to my face. And James get in your face. Say it to my face. And then I seen grown men turn into complete whores. And if you say, James, hold up, don't punch him. Don't be no whore. Don't be no whore. And the nigga look crazy. And then when James gone, man, that was James Toney. So you knew it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
I hear so many people say that.
The truth can be disrespect. If the truth is embarrassing somebody or bringing up a tragic or traumatic event of their past, then that's disrespectful. And getting crushed at something you worked your life for is traumatic. But if you never been in there, you don't understand that. That's like somebody walking up to you telling you, hey, yo, your girl was messing around with such and such, or such and such was knocking your girl off. Long after it happened, you don't want to hear that shit, but it's the truth.
Yeah, not being disrespectful, but man, that nigga was hanging dick in your wife.
Yeah, like it's certain things you just can't say.
And it's like I said, you might say that on one axis, you might say that on one hand, but BBO has seen my son in some situations where what I'm saying is real. Grown tough guys said some wild shit. Then they turn around, Jaleel there. What happened, BBO? They checked in. So they know it's sucker shit. And I know my son. If he did take a vicious knockout like that, that shit'll eat at him so bad. If you brought it up in any type of way, he gonna fuck you up. Period. And after he fuck up the first nigga, nobody else is gonna say it. So that means they know it's touchy.
I put myself out there. I was a welterweight. My last fight of my career, somebody convinced me to take a fight at light heavyweight against a 6'2" southpaw. I got stopped. I'm a career firefighter. When I went back to work, my battalion chief is conducting shift change, and he brought it up during shift change because he thought it was funny. Now, this is the battalion chief. This is the highest ranking dude in the building right now. My response to him is, if me and you go out back right now, you're going to the trauma room and won't be back to work for 2 weeks.
But he's not a fighter.
You didn't say that, did you?
Then don't speak to a fighter in that way if you're not capable of dealing with him.
That's like saying don't speak to a basketball player that went out there and got dunked on. If you got dunked on, get what I'm gonna tell you. Man, he punched on your ass. I done been
and if
dunked
that
on plenty of times.
6'8" motherfucker turn around and choke the shit out of you,
I'm just gonna call it. Hey, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue the shit out your ass.
I'm cool with that, but you're gonna spend a couple weeks in the trauma room.
I'm saying is, if you're gonna participate in the sport, and we watch the sport, we cover the sport, we talk about the sport on a regular basis, and then now when I bring this up, all of a sudden I'm hating. I'm not hating on the brother. I love the brother, but I'm telling the truth about what happened.
Here's the thing: in most professional sports, right? You got commentators and you got analysts. Analysts, give a little more perspective and opinions. In order to be an analyst about a sport, in my opinion, you have to have done something in that sport to have an opinion that holds weight. Now, if you just a casual boxing fan, you're not an analyst. You don't have the right to say that to a fighter because you can't operate in that realm. That's like me telling somebody, a doctor, he's a shitty doctor. Well, he's a lot, or telling a doctor, you dumb. Well, he's got a PhD, he's a lot smarter than me.
Well, if he done went in there and performed surgery and killed 3 people with the surgery that he performing, then he a shitty doctor. It is what it is.
But can I say this? Well, this is my whole thing. And I'm sorry, BVO, I'm just gonna say it like this. You got people that don't look like us already disrespecting the brother enough. So why do we have to disrespect the brother amongst brothers? We might as well talk about his 10 heavyweight defenses, how he won the world title, how he knocked dudes out. Let's talk about that instead of the negative parts about him. Can we at least do that?
But the problem is we're talking about him fighting now. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about his next fight.
He just won.
And we just gave him credit for the win. But at the end of the day, my thing is to tell the truth for y'all to sit here and say it's hate.
I said
but
it was
no,
hate.
it's not telling the truth, Deb. It's like if you say a man lost, I ain't got no problem with somebody saying, man, he lost, he got knocked down. But when we say and then we add,
we can't hear you, Coach. You cutting out, Coach. Or is that me? That might be me.
I hear you, Doug.
Coach, you cutting out. Say that again.
My bad. I was just saying that when it's the caveats added, and it's not by people who've done the pugilist sport, then it's disrespectful. If Deontay Wilder get knocked out and Mike Tyson say he got shit beat down his leg, Mike Tyson can say that. But we can't.
So what I see happen in the ring, I can't say what happened in the ring. I can only speak on the good things.
No. You can speak on the bad, but it's when we add the caveats to it. And I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I seen the man get spent around and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Did it happen?
If you say no. If you say something like respectfully before you make a comment, then you already know it's this. That's like me saying, Doug, respectfully, your wife got a fat ass. I know it's disrespectful. That's why I said respectfully. And they can say, and you can say, well, I ain't gonna get mad because he told the truth. You got a fat ass. Come on, Chad.
Nah, that's a backwards comment. But my thing is this: Why do we always have to speak on the negative about our fighters? Let's uplift our fighters like they uplift their fighters. Trust me.
But
No
you gotta
matter how many
realize
times
what the
hold
conversation
on,
was.
damn, brother,
You're
hold on, give
saying
me
you
1
missing
second.
the conversation.
No, I heard the conversation. I was here, but y'all was speaking on the brother in his next fight. Let's uplift our fighters, bro, because a Mexican fighter like Canelo can get knocked out, beat up, and they still uplift their people. All the next fight, he gonna do this. Let's uplift our people. What's wrong with uplifting black folks? What's wrong with it?
That ain't, man, I'm telling the truth. And
here
with
we go.
Canelo, when it comes to Canelo,
I get it, bro.
if I have when I done said crazy, when I said negative things about Canelo, ain't nobody cry about that. Ain't nobody
BBO
cry
did.
when I said.
Oh,
Well,
BBO did.
he did. Well,
BBO
that's a
did.
fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. But, hey, I'ma still tell the truth about what happened. He got the brake shoes beat off of him. The brake shoes beat off him by Bud. That's what happened. And so,
See, now you putting 100 on 10. Bud just won.
No, I'm telling you. We all watched the man get the brake shoes beat off of him. And so all I'm saying is the reason I don't want to see Deontay fight is because I love that brother and I want him to be healthy. And I don't want to see him, as I believe Coach said earlier, I don't want to see him out there speaking and talking like James Toney or anything like that.
I never cried when he lost, man. That's cold. Y'all be saying anything.
You cried when Theo lost.
Hey,
No, I didn't cry when Theo lost.
Hey, I'm sorry. I done took the conversation somewhere it wasn't supposed to be. Let's
Nah,
let
you
the
did
coaches
good, brother.
cook.
Nah, you did good.
I like to hear the coaches cook.
I think what Coach is saying is very simple. Me and Crown is from the same YouTube rookie class when we both was on YouTube, and he can say, even Puerto Rican Free will tell you, I used to say some pretty outlandish things, and I didn't realize that it was being disrespectful. So what I've had to do is, like, if you want to talk to the people, there's certain things you just can't say, and you got to be respectful because it's always a soft spot. Yeah, it sounds funny to say, yeah, Deontay got spent around, this, that, and the third, but you know what? When I talk to him, I'm not gonna say that when I talk to him. I'm gonna be grateful that he's in the building. You know what I mean?
Just say this. In the 70s and early 80s, when boxers were really disrespectful dudes, you would have said that about Frazier. You would have said that about Foreman, and they'd have beat the wheels off that. They would have made it where they did see you so they could fuck you up, especially if you was just a commentator.
100%.
You got to remember that Fred the William Hamilton pulls Howard Cosell's wig off his head for saying something. So that's kind of, to me, that's kind of extreme. But I get what you're saying, Dub. I know you frame it as if you can't say what you want, but at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder's a great champion. He might have lost. He might have not looked the best.
Nobody said he wasn't, but nobody ever said he wasn't
Man,
a great champion.
Black man. He's a great
We
black
never,
king. Let's
but I
talk about
never
that.
said he wasn't. I never said he wasn't.
Let's talk about that.
I said, man, he one of my favorite fighters. I love Deontay.
But you always go against your favorite fighters. You just went against Devin. That's supposed to be one of your favorite fighters when he went against Brian Norman.
The truth, just because I picked, and this is the craziest thing about
You're
it.
going against the brothers that you supposedly like.
Hey, just because I like you don't mean I'm not going to be honest about it. If I think somebody's going to win, I'm going to say this is who I'm picking.
Well, picking a fighter is different than blatantly disrespecting somebody because they lost. And like I said, there is a way that things that can be said that are just disrespectful. And boxing is not like any other sport. You know why? Because every time you get in that ring, you're risking your life. There's nothing funny about somebody having a near-death experience. You get knocked unconscious, that's a near-death experience. Don't nobody, if you get shot, you want somebody to come up to you laughing about, hey, it's true, but you got shot. Nobody want to hear that shit.
No, can I say something real fast? I was hooping today. Me being 41 years old, I'm hooping with the youngsters or whatever. The dude did something, cross or push or whatever, and I tripped and fell and slammed my knee on the hardwood. Them dudes stopped laughing. Like, that's not funny. That dude could have really hurt himself. Like, what we doing here? Like, you laughing at people and like, come on, man. That man did something a lot of these dudes would never do, and that's for one, just fight. And then he fighting dudes bigger than him. Like, man, salute that black king, man. I love my people. I'm sorry, bro. I love my folks.
It ain't not saluting them. All I'm saying is I don't want to see the man in the ring against Anthony Joshua. I don't want to see him in the ring against some of these guys. Retire, do your thing, But if you're gonna continue to fight, then I'm gonna call a spade a spade. And
but you didn't tell Canelo to retire, and Canelo just got whooped.
And I said Canelo need to retire.
You didn't tell Tio that Tio need to retire. He just got whooped.
Man, well, Tio young. I mean, it is
but my guy got to retire though, right?
Man, come on.
Tyson Fury got whooped twice. He ain't got to retire.
I'm just so glad we have another coach.
This ain't no personal situation, right? I'm just talking boxing.
I'm glad we got another coach on here because the other coach, we've never talked before. And he's backing my sentiment. Boxers are some of the most gladiatorial guys you will ever meet. And I'm glad most of them are starting to graduate from high school. Because in the 70s and 80s, when they had third grade educations, fifth grade educations, if you said something slick out your mouth, they already look at the average man as a bitch. Boxers from back then looked at the average man as half a man because he couldn't do what he could do. I can hurt people with my hand. You can't. So they would say shit. Like Ali has told plenty of commentators, what's the greatest thing you ever did in your life? Man, I made my elementary basketball team. And that's the greatest thing you did in your life. And you talking about me who was a world heavyweight champion because I lost? Man, you ought to shut up. And when he puts it in perspective like that, the average person that's running a podcast hasn't done shit amazing in their whole fucking life, but can always talk shit about people who have done amazing shit in front of millions.
One of my favorite times on YouTube is shout out to Coach Crown. Some guy said something. Coach Crown said, "These hands are made for damage." Hey, y'all know how Coach Crown talk, man. Always calm, a lot of humility. This brother said these hands are made for damage. I don't know if you remember that, Coach, when you did that.
Your boy from England kept disrespecting me.
Yeah. Shout out to Butchie, man. I haven't seen Butchie, I don't know when. But the brother from the UK told Coach Crown that he couldn't fight. And you know what I think be happening? I think it's just like when you see the YouTubers get into boxing. People don't understand boxing is for real. When that guy Dream, or I can't think of the kid's name, Prize, know what I'm talking about. He got in the ring with Keyshawn Davis, and Keyshawn Davis beat him pretty bad. You really can't play boxing, man. You can't play boxing. I don't care who you are. When I seen Shannon the Cannon Briggs, he's ancient. He's my exact same height. And I wouldn't want to fool with that dude. And he's old. You know?
Not
listen.
BVO the Menace? Not BVO the Menace?
No, I would leave Shannon the Cannon Briggs alone. That's his hands is bigger than my hands, and I'm wearing size 13 glove. I said, "Yeeks! How you get his hands like that?"
Listen, y'all.
Go ahead.
I trained Bruce Seldon Jr. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know what Bruce Seldon Sr. is famous for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He was WBA heavyweight champion of the world, but he's known for what happened against Mike Tyson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me and Bruce Seldon Jr. prior to one of his fights are doing a radio interview, and the radio host decides to bring up, well, how do you deal with all the people that give you flack about your dad and what happened with boxing? And Bruce just said, it doesn't bother me because I just asked him, well, what the hell has your dad done that's worth talking about? I can't even say nothing about your dad because I don't know who he is.
Hey, Bruce, this is funny. You must have told him to say that. You must have told him to say that, Crown.
Hey, Coach Crown, look here. I don't know your son. I don't know you, but I do know if you bringing your son along and your son got a loss or he got a win, and they say, man, he ain't fought number bums or he got knocked the fuck out, you gonna go off, and that's your son.
Absolutely, that's my baby. Listen, I'll do it for any of my fighters. Any of my fighters, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like you can't say unless you've been in there yourself. I really ain't interested in your opinion, to be honest with you.
Damn, who that sound like, video? Who that sound like?
Hey, Coach. Hey, my man, Coach Crown be talking crazy when people.
Listen, buy a ticket. You can say whether you liked it or you didn't. Once you start trying to break it down, like my man French Montana and the Wave God said, I went deaf on a bitch.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy that you say that, because I be trying to tell BVO that when he be trying to put down fighters or whatever to uplift other fighters. And I be
Nah,
like,
I don't
that's
never
not
put down
cool,
no
bro.
fighters.
Oh my God,
That's a lie, man.
Yeah,
I
brother.
love all the fighters.
Brother, I watched
I think y'all hate that I know about the older guys, man. The Rocky Marcianos, the Kid Gallagher's, the Sugar Ray Robinsons. Y'all get mad that I talk about those guys. You know what I mean? But my preference has always been I'm in Cleveland. De La Hoya was my guy. I remember having the Golden Boy action figure at the crib as a kid.
Brother, you said that Ryan Garcia didn't do nothing wrong. You said that.
When?
You said that You said that they made that up about Ryan, and the black and white wasn't true. You said that
About
Tio
what?
was gonna knock out, that he wasn't a drug chief. Then you said that Tio was gonna knock Shakur out, brother. You didn't say that.
Hey, I could be wrong.
Brother.
I could be wrong. I mean, the Puerto Rican came out with a heck of a game plan. It happens,
brother. Oh, I'm just saying, brother. You always
shut
go
up.
against the brother, man, for the other man, man. That's all
That
I'm
ain't
saying,
true,
man.
I just like Spanish fighters, bro. That's my preference, man. That's my preference.
I'm messing with you,
Be that
man.
nigga, I'm gonna get you, sucker, man. You know he ain't for us.
Hey, I just want to sum up what we was talking about people who's disrespectful to fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years ago we was playing pickup ball, and it was a bunch of fighters. Somebody said to a fighter, I won't name him, said, "Hey man, I saw you on ESPN and you look bad." He said, "Motherfucker, you saw me on ESPN."
Hey, even in this, I had to. Hey, I'm sorry, Prize, man. We had to let him cuss a little bit on that because that's funny. You see me on ESPN.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Man, I love you, so I love you, boy. I'm one of your new favorite people.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
What Coach say that what you say to that one dude? You say when you accomplish something in life, come back to me.
Wait, no, hold on, wait. Can you say the one when you said when your father was talking about me, but I don't know your father? Say that one again.
That was crazy.
That again.
That is crazy, man. Coach Crown is funny, man. That brother said, when you do something with your life, come back and say something to me.
You don't hear no other heavyweight champion said, "Man, y'all knock spin around like a top." They don't say that. But these people ain't never threw a punch at a mirror that say shit like that.
Hey, look at that, Coach Crown. I thought you was the only one that was rough. No, but no, I see y'all coaches just rough, man.
No, we just respect the sport and want people who can't do it to respect it as well.
What you say, Coach? When you do something in your life, then come back to me.
That was real though, right there though.
It ain't
Coach
my
Brown
fault that
crazy to
Dub
say that.
It ain't my fault that Dub 6'5" and can't shoot a jump shot. It ain't my fault.
That's crazy.
Listen, I got a million situations. Y'all know who Darryl Wilson is?
Yeah.
He was a heavyweight contender in the 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
He got knocked out by Tim Witherspoon. No shame in that, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. He came in the barbershop, and one of these barbers, hate to say it, it was a Puerto Rican barber, little guy, thought it would be funny to say, "Damn, yo, I saw you on FS1. Yo, you got," let's just say the whole Egg Harbor Township Police Department ended up at the barbershop.
So let me ask you this:
feet, knees, and toes on him, huh?
We didn't have a lot of good conversation, a lot of laughs. But let me ask you this, Coach. One thing about you, I know how much you love the community. At one time, you actually were running for the mayor. I think was it Pleasantville?
Yup, Pleasantville, yes.
So I'm just wondering, are we gonna see you make another run, maybe for city council, something? Because I know how much you love your hometown, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm running for city council in November.
Okay, that's gonna be exciting, man. So, are you thinking about giving up coaching, or are you gonna do this? Or are you gonna still do it?
Coaching is always number one, man. As long as I can physically do it, the city council can never come before those fighters that are looking for me to help them.
Can I add on to that?
Go ahead.
I think it's a beautiful thing, Coach, that you're running for city councilman. You know, in all your endeavors dealing with politics, I wish you the best with Godspeed.
Thank you, bro.
I just want to know, and I don't want to know because just having this small conversation with you and seeing how you took up for the boxes already, I feel like I know your personality and the type of person that you are. Would you be able to make a change in Congress and politics from the councilman seat? Or are you going to try to move up to maybe be a senator or anything like that to make the change that we need in the community? Because we do need a change. We do need a change in the community.
We do, but I don't see myself ever ascending that high. God bless the guys that do. I think if I was going to do that, that's something I should have started early. Like I started boxing early. My onus is to my personal community. I grew up in a little town called Pleasantville, 5 miles from Atlantic City. And it's in a bad way right now. And I'm retired. I couldn't move to a nicer city and relax, but I just think a lot of people in Pleasantville helped me out along the way. My grandfather was a sitting city councilman when I was growing up here for a long time. That's the one I told y'all was a boxing manager. I'm in it to turn my little city around. You know what I'm saying? I don't have aspirations of doing it on a national level. I do have friends that, you know, reach out to me that have run for senator and stuff like that. I will support them and try to make an impact through helping them get elected, but I don't ever see myself participating at that level, no.
Okay, so as a councilman, do you have direct contact through the mayor and things like that? Because in the city managers, because I believe that we have a wide police problem in the United States, and not just in my town in Long Beach, California, but from where you grew up as well. What's your stance on like police reform and things like that, and maybe giving these teachers more money, because I feel like they're teaching the future of America. I think they need to be paid way more than they're paid. What's your stance on that? If you have one.
I have one. I'm actually probably about to have a civil suit initiated for not my town, but a neighboring town's police department, who accused me of having a suspended registration for one day a few weeks back, and I ended up in the county jail. So that's a whole nother conversation. So yes, that's personal. We need police reform. With regards to education, I'm formally the school board president in my town. I'm no longer on it because I'm dedicating myself to boxing wholeheartedly right now, but my sister's on the school board. My town has some of the highest paid teachers in South Jersey, or the state of New Jersey, probably. So we take that very seriously. And as far as having contact with the mayor, in my town, we really have a ceremonial mayor. Our form of government is strong council, weak mayor. So as a council, I can probably stare to drink a lot more as a councilman than I actually could a mayor.
Okay. So I just got one more question. How do a person like me, a normal Joe, pay his taxes or whatever? How do I go in and sit in one of those meetings and put it on the table how I feel like police reform needs to happen, and I feel like teachers need to be paid more due to the budgets? Because I watched them give the police department budgets, I watched them give the detention centers budgets, but they constantly cut the teachers' budgets every year. I constantly see that. How do I raise awareness on that?
Well, in most towns, the city government has nothing to do with the school district and what the teachers are being paid. Those are usually two different entities. So if you want to champion for teachers, you're going to want to find out when your local school board meetings are. They're usually either monthly or semi-monthly. They're always open to the public by law, and there's always room for public comment at some point during that meeting by law. So you can go to, and the same thing goes for city council. You find out when your local meetings are, you find out what time public comment's going to be, and you go and give a piece of your mind. I'll just caution you, if you go there by yourself, you're probably going to not make much noise. But if you can gather up 20, 30 people to go, and it look like you have some voting power behind you, then they're going to listen to you, because at the end of the day, they want to be reelected.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Hey, you know, and that's the cool thing about Crown. He go from Coach Crown. He go from talking about beating people up to talking about the community. You love it, man. But
no person is one-sided. We're all multifaceted, brother.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you a few more questions, then we'll let you go. Now, one of the things that we see, especially in Philly, you're not too far from Philly, being in South Jersey. What do you think about when we see these young kids, man, really almost what you would call a rebellion? When we see them running into stores, attacking store owners, just causing hell and chaos. What would you say about what you're seeing in Philadelphia?
I'm about to say something that's extremely not politically correct, and it's not based in any medical or scientific research. It's just my own opinion through living through both the crack era and the Percocet pill era.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the 90s and early 2000s, we dealt with the generation of crack babies that became adults and couldn't make rational decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're dealing with a generation of young adults who were born addicted to Percocet and opioids. And they're even more extreme. The withdrawal symptoms are more severe. They're more irrational. And I think there's a lot of mental health illness within a lot of our inner cities. And a lot of it stems from that pharmaceutical company, I think it was Pfizer, coming up with them Percocets, knowing they were going to be addictive, unleashing them on the people. And I think that's what you have now. You have a bunch of young people with no regards for life because they're chemically imbalanced and can't grasp the concept of having a regard for life.
I think that's a powerful thing because I'm telling you, what I'm seeing, at least in my area, you're really seeing a lack of care for human life in ways I never thought was possible. I thought the guys were rough when I was coming up. These young dudes are like they can like respawn or something and come back. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary when you think about it. But my last question would be this: what would you say to a young man who wants to do something in life but doesn't have very many resources? They don't box, they don't play football. What would be the first thing?
I can't hear you no more, BBO. I don't know what happened.
Oh, can you hear me now? Yo, can y'all hear me? Check.
I can hear you, BBO.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Oh, he must have went out. But I think this is a good conversation because I think the thing that we like to do here, man, and I think it's very important, is that we talk about the youth, man, because the youth are in a bad way. They need somebody to champion for them. Somebody got to be that one to say, "Hey, I'm not gonna give up on you. I believe in you."
It's got to happen at the national level, bro. Like, opioids and guns are just way too readily available.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, everybody talks about, the right to bear arms and all that. That's cool. But it's no reason why somebody should be able to buy 30, 40 guns and then go resell them to kids in the hood and then watch them shoot each other. And we still wonder what the problem is. The problem is guns are too easily accessible. 27 years ago, I was stationed in the army in Grafenwehr, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
That town hadn't had a murder in 30-something years because guns just aren't that readily accessible. And I know people say guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, they make it a whole lot easier to kill people, I'll tell you that.
That boy Crown crazy, man. I want to say, man, I appreciate you coming by. I know you're a busy guy, man. It means a lot, man. And I love how you always don't mind sharing about the community and what you're doing. I just want you to know, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you
I
soon.
love you too. Is Brother Bernard still on?
Yeah, he's still here.
Bernard.
Yes, my brother. Yes.
I wanted to holler at Bernard. I guess
you can't hear him. He's still here.
Well, if he can hear me, I just want to say, we were on here together before, and I didn't want any disrespect to his business situation, but I didn't like the way Eddie Hearn was doing his son, and I think I turned out to be right. I think Eddie Hearn was a piece of shit when it comes to Jaleel Hackett. And I think Jaleel Hackett's in a position where he's going to make him regret it because I think he's about to go on an unbelievable run. And I'm just happy to see Jaleel and Bernard get themselves into a position where they can look at Eddie and say, "You messed up, brother, because we on our way."
I definitely appreciate that, bro. But one thing I tell you, when it comes to this stuff, you got to have thick skin, but you also got to understand the business. So Eddie wasn't bad. He just was a bad businessman for our situation. That's all I say on it.
If Bernard is responding, I can't hear him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he responding. Something's going on with StreamYard. Like if you're not on your computer, it's hard to hear.
Hey, BBO.
Yeah, I hear you, but I can't hear him. But
hey, BBO.
Yeah, no, he told me, my opinion at that time was cool, but I know, he's involved in the business, and there's certain things he will and won't say. But I just was starting to see the way Eddie was treating some certain young black fighters like they just disposable to him, and I might have been wrong with my Jersey guy Khalil Cole because he turned out, to put himself in a bad situation not far after that. But it just seems like Eddie has an extreme lack of patience with young black American fighters, and he just says things like, "Well, I'm not going to spend money and wait forever to see if they can ascend to that level." And I think he had said something crazy like that about Jalil when he had only been with him for like 2 fights at that time.
Yeah,
I didn't like the way. He, along with a lot of other promoters, discard fighters and treat them in unfair ways and forget that they're human. So I'm just glad that they're thriving, and I can't wait for them to get to where I know they're going, so I can come on here and say, "Ha ha, Eddie Hearn, you screwed up."
Hey, what I'm gonna do if you free after we get off the podcast, Coach, want to see if I can call you on 3-way if that's okay.
Absolutely.
On that note, man, if you see me, you see my right-hand man, Prize.
Yeah.
Man, like, comment, subscribe. We doing some big things, man. And I want to send a big shout-out to Miss BBO and definitely my brother, Prize, man. YouTube been playing some games with me, and I appreciate those two encouraging me to keep going, man. And we're going to do it together, y'all, and we out of here, y'all. Peace. If I can get the mouse to work. Hold on. How you shut this thing off?